Hey guys, we are live. I'm Jeff with Ebayaddicts, and today I have a returning guest with me today. I have Tom Young is here, the Residual Hustler. How are you doing today, Tom?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to see you, and I hope you're doing well. How has your weekend been?
It was good. It was good. We got some activities going on with the family, and I took advantage of the Fourth of July sales and did some retail arbitrage, hitting a couple stores up today.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, Tom, real quickly, in case people in the audience don't know who you are or they're catching the replay, tell everybody who you are and tell them where you're from and tell them what it is that you do.
Well, my name is Tom Young, also known as the Residual Hustler, and a full-time Amazon seller, along with a couple other small things that I do. And I live in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania.
Okay, awesome. So Tom, tell everybody that the topic of our video is going to be how Tom was able to leave and quit his full-time job to become a full-time reseller. So give everybody kind of your background because I want people to kind of hear your story of how you got started as a reseller. So tell them kind of what you were doing before you switched over to become a full-time reseller.
Okay. Well, back in 2015, I started selling on Amazon, just very, very part time, just looking for extra money, just like everybody does. Never did more than $20,000 a year uh, from 2015 to 2020 because I had my job, making a decent salary, and just used Amazon as some extra money. And never took it really, really seriously until I decided that I said, you know what, I'm going to take Amazon seriously because I want to be able to leave my full time job and do Amazon full time. So I was in my family's business. I was there for 32 years, and my goal was to actually retire from the family business by the age of 50. I started when I was 17 years old, and when I was 49, I retired from the family business after 32 years and started doing Amazon full time January 1st of this year, 2022.
Okay, so that's awesome. So I'm happy for you. So you're able to leave your job in January, and so I think you said you were there for 32 years, and you finally left to become a full-time reseller. So tell people kind of what led up to that, because you had money set aside in a savings account. You had experience reselling on Amazon. So tell everybody kind of, there was kind of a stair step. So tell them kind of how that worked out for you.
Well, there was, because you don't go just from doing like $20,000 a year to doing it full time. You have to prepare for it. So in the beginning of 2021, actually at the end of 2020, I said
Yeah.
to my wife, I said, listen, I want to do Amazon full time January 1st, 2022. So I'm going to take the year of 2021. I'm going to put money aside in the savings from my regular job, uh, like 5 months worth of income. And I'm just going to work Amazon hard. Now, I was still working a full 40-hour job, and I would, on my way home after work, I would go and I would stop off at stores, and I would buy inventory. And what I would do is Monday through Friday after work, as much as I could, I would buy more inventory for Amazon. And on Saturday and Sunday, or whatever day was needed, I would list everything and pack it up, so that Monday morning UPS would come to the house and pick up the stuff and have it sent to Amazon. And my goal was to do one shipment a week for all of that. It didn't matter if the shipment ended up being one box or I think my highest was 18 boxes being shipped in. And every 2 weeks when I got my payout from Amazon, that money would go back into Amazon to buy more. Still putting aside a 30% for taxes, which I knew from my accountant told me that I don't need to do that much, but I did it anyway because I wanted to feel safe with my first year, making sure I had enough money to pay my taxes. So 70% every 2 weeks, when I get that money, I would roll back in, kept sending stuff. And I went, and my first year, it was either 90 or 95,000. I think it might have been 90,000 my first year. And did all that while working still a full-time 9 to 5 job. And then once 2022, January 1st, this past January 1st hit, I retired from my family's business after 32 years and doing Amazon full time. Now, I did save up roughly 5 months of my salary during 2021 to have a cushion. So I did have money there in case something was going wrong with Amazon or wasn't working or something. I did have money put aside along with my tax money. And, keep in mind, I don't have a lot of bills. I keep my income high and my bills low. So that's actually a key component to be able to do something like this full time. Even though at that point I didn't hit 100,000 a year, my profit margin is roughly around 30%. So that means that my profit for 2021 would have been 30,000. Today's day and age, that's not enough. It's not enough. So I do have other sources of income, residual income. That's where the name Residual Hustler came from, that are there as well. But yeah, you need to put aside some money if you're serious about it and prepare, because once the second week of January came in 2022, I wasn't getting that nice paycheck on Friday anymore. It was gone. So you got to prepare as much as you can if you're serious about taking Amazon on full time, and you got to prepare for it. It's not an overnight thing. You got to prepare for it.
Yeah, and but the good thing is you had money set aside. So when you left your full-time job to be a full-time reseller, if worse come to worse, something happened, your account got suspended, or you couldn't find enough inventory to resell, or whatever, you had a little bit of a cushion there to help cover your expenses until you figured it out. So, what advice would you have somebody, either if they want to get started on Amazon, or maybe they're in a position and maybe they don't like their full-time job, or they would like to become a full-time reseller in the future? What would you tell them to kind of help put them in the right direction?
Well, you definitely want to make sure that you're doing your research on YouTube. I mean, everything I learned since 2015 has been on YouTube and nowhere else. I mean, I love YouTube University all the way. And I watched, I've watched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos, and many of them I've watched over and over and over again, learning how to list. But the biggest videos I would watch are the sourcing videos, people that are out in the stores and are scanning, with their phone, with the seller app, and learning the do's and don'ts. And that's why I've always loved those videos, is because it would show you, in real time, this is a good buy because of this. This is a bad buy because of this. And that's actually why where I'm at now on TikTok, when I make a lot of videos, I actually show the product and I scan it on my phone and I show the short video of saying, I bought this because of this reason. This is what made me buy this. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from other sellers that are starting saying, hey, I really love your channel because you're actually showing physically the product and what are the do's and don'ts of making a buying decision. And then you definitely need something like Keepa to check the history on the product, make sure that it's actually selling. The Amazon seller app also when scanning, and make sure that you've got, your software in place. Keepa is the biggest one. It's under $20 a month. That can show you the history of a product, and that will determine if I buy it or not. And don't be afraid to watch 100 videos on sourcing before you buy your first product. Even though I watched videos for 4 or 5 months regarding sourcing, my very first sale was a book and I lost $1.41. I was in the hole my very first sale. And I didn't understand all the eBay fees. That's what the difference, or not the eBay, the Amazon fees. And then I dove more into that and went into Seller Central and looked at that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't account for this or for that. So you're never going to be prepared enough to start, but do as much as you can. So it's a little bit easier when you start.
Yeah, well, I like your story, Tom, because you didn't have a bunch of money to get started. It wasn't like that you had some rich uncle that passed away that left you an inheritance or anything. You kind of started on a shoestring budget. You didn't have a lot of capital to get started, and you did a lot of homework. So the first thing is watch a lot of YouTube videos and get knowledge and experience to kind of help you get started. And then after that, when you go ahead and get started, what other things do I need to get started? Because I know you said you bought a printer. So tell people other stuff that you invested in when you got started.
Well, when in 2021, when I was ramping up Amazon to do it full time for 2022, I was taking some of that money that I was getting during 2021 and reinvesting it not only in inventory from a product, but things like shelves and supplies. And I bought two thermal printers. The computer that I'm on right now is a desktop computer that is actually in my garage, and it's set aside just for my Amazon business. Even buying small things like labels, things like this, a better shipping scale. I have one that goes up to 100 pounds, and I don't use my bathroom scale anymore. I would reinvest that money back into the softwares. I started using Inventory Lab. I started using Be Cool as a repricer. Recently, just started using Seller Amp. I have probably $200, maybe $250 in subscriptions right now for all the different softwares that I use. And I got them as they became more affordable during 2021. So by the time the end of 2021 came around, I had my dedicated computer, I had my two printers, I had the scale I wanted, and I had the equipment and subscriptions to the software that I needed. So by the time January 1st came, I was just full blown inventory. And what was nice is that I was able to write off all of that equipment during that year because I told my accountant what I was doing. He said, "Okay, what did you buy?" So if you use any software, my most favorite one out of all of them is actually Inventory Lab, because Inventory Lab, it's very easy to list products on Amazon, but it's even easier when it comes time for tax season, because in Inventory Lab, there's a profit and loss statement that you just click and print out for the year, and then you save it as a PDF and email that to your accountant. It took me 3 seconds, and my accountant had everything that he needed because I would input everything in there that I was doing for the year. It works one-on-one with Amazon. It works one-on-one with Be Cool, my repricing software. So the numbers at the end of the year are all calculated for me. I save it, I email that to my accountant, and it was actually very, very easy to do that. Now that's like a $45 a month subscription, I believe. And I got that in like March or April of last year. But that saved me a ton of time. Plus it saves me time listing as well. So softwares and equipment are key.
Yeah, when I was watching one of your videos and you were showing on your Inventory Labs, and it would show your little cost of goods. It would show how much you had to pay in eBay fees. And then on another little side, it would show you what your projected profit margin was going to be. Oh, so you can see it in real time on your screen as you're, listing items and get ready to send the shipment in. Now, a couple things I want to talk about. How do you, what would be your advice? Or let's talk about sending your first shipment into Amazon. Let's talk about that real quick. So you went out, you got the inventory, you got it home. Now what do we need to do next?
Well, you go into your Seller Central, you click on, add a product, start inputting all the information. And it's actually very easy because everything that I sell is an existing listing on Amazon. I mean, when I was doing eBay, I had to do a new listing every time I would, do eBay for everything. With Amazon, I jump on listings that are already there. So I'm just jumping on as a seller. And I learned the main goal was the box behind me, the one right there, the Home Depot.
Go ahead. I'll put you on full screen. Go ahead.
Okay. I've got my boxes right here and my shipping supplies. My goal was to have enough inventory to have those boxes weighing 48 to 49 pounds because that is the 50 pounds is the limit for an Amazon box to ship in. And because I know the more items I have in that box to get close to 50 pounds, the less I'm paying for shipping to Amazon per item. Now, I always stop my weight of the box at 47 pounds because if my scale says 47 and then the UPS scale says 51, and that has happened, Amazon put a strike on my account and charged me $25 for an overweight box. So you do that once and you learn. So now I go and I stop at 47 pounds per box. Ship it in. Depending on where it's going, it could take 2 weeks for it to actually get received and checked in. So you've got to know that you're not going to make your first sale maybe for 2 or 3 weeks. And then once you do start making some sales and Amazon ships those products to the customers, it's going to be roughly another 30 days before you receive any kind of payment from Amazon, because they're holding back money in reserves in case something that you sold gets returned. You're a brand new seller. Amazon doesn't know you from Adam right now, so they want to make sure they're not going to lose any money. So they're going to hold money in reserves. So from the time you send in your first shipment to the time the Amazon sends you that email saying your payment is on its way, could be 6 to 7 weeks. So as a new seller, you have to be aware of that. I have a friend of mine that started and he sold something within his first 2 weeks or so, and he thought he was going to get paid the next day. And I said, no. I told him, I said, you get paid every 2 weeks. I said, plus you're new. So there's that 30-day reserve. I showed him where to look for that. And I said, so it was around week 6 or 7 that he actually saw any of that money. And I said, okay, now you've got that money, so buy more stuff with it and send it in.
Yeah, well, the cool thing is like where I sell stuff on eBay is I'm coming home and I'm having to create a new listing and take photographs of the items and measurements and all this stuff. A lot of the items that you sell have barcodes. So you can scan the little barcode and then pull it up and just put quantity of 10 in the computer system. And it becomes a lot easier when you say, hey, I have a little barcode right here that I could scan and then put quantity of 10 in the computer and then go ahead and ship it in, as opposed to when I do it, I have to go in and take photographs of the listings, put it in the computer system and all that.
Yeah, I look for existing items. I don't want to be selling something where I got to continually, make listings. That's not what I'm in it for. Something like this, I found a grocery outlet today. They're $4 each, and they sell in a bundle of 2. So all I'm doing is I'm getting a poly bag and putting 2 of these in a poly bag, and I think I make $5 or $6 on each bundle. And I cleared the shelf on them. Something else just to show you real quick is dog treats just like this.
Yeah.
Treats just like this. This I got at the grocery outlet. You want to make sure that your expiration dates, see that's November 22. You want to make sure that your expiration dates on food like this is out 125 days. So this was $8 each, I believe, and my profit on each one is $6. And when I got these at grocery outlet, I saw them on the shelf. I've already sold 45 or 46 of these already in the past, and they sold out in the first 30 days. And the Scoutify 2 app actually shows me, when you click on history, how many I've sold and if I have any more on hand. And when I scanned that one today, because I recognized it, it said 45 sold in the last 30 days. It says 0 on hand. I'm like, oh, all right. So I cleared the shelf. There were 17 or 19 on the shelf, and I bought them all again, making sure that the pricing was still good. Nothing was tanking, and it was good. So if you have a grocery outlet near you, there are, even though it's an outlet food store, and they do get products, and they don't always know what they're getting. There are products that they do have that are actually, they sell every day, all the time. So if you have a grocery outlet near you, definitely take advantage of it and go there.
All right. Hey, I just got to give a quick shout out here to my buddy Felix here, Giant Lifestyle. He just gave me a $100 super chat. He says, keep up the good work, Jeff. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. You guys don't have to send in super chats, but I definitely appreciate it, Felix, man. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, I signed up with your affiliate link with Weeble, so you should be able to get a those stocks should show up in your account next week. I didn't get a chance to tell you yet, but it should hit your account next week. So I appreciate you so much, guys, and you guys don't have to give me super chats, but if you guys get a chance, go follow my guy Felix from Giant Lifestyle. Follow his YouTube channel and check him out. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I was not expecting you guys to send me $100 super chat in the middle of the live stream.
Nice.
But thank
Nice.
you so much. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, and hopefully you keep up the good work on your YouTube channel as well. And thank you guys for hanging out with us today. If you have questions for our guests, drop it in the chat. But I just wanted to give my buddy Felix a shout out here in the chat. So thank you for everything you do, bro. I appreciate you so much, man. And Laura says, that's kind, the giant lifestyle. Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you. So, so Tom, so we were talking, you said a lot of these items you have barcodes on them. So when you go to list them on Amazon, you're able to scan the barcode. You could put quantity of 5 or 10 because it already has an existing listing on Amazon. And once you create this listing on Amazon, then you're able to box it up, ship it into their warehouse, and then you're able to keep track of how much your sales are every month, right?
Right. Yeah, I do that with, obviously you use your seller, Amazon seller app to look at that. I also use Be Cool, which is a repricer. I'm averaging right around 14,000 a month on Amazon. Was it March? I think it was March. I hit 16,000. But when I hit last year, I think it was 5,000 a month, is when I looked into repricers and I got Be Cool after looking at many different ones. And it didn't really matter to me the monthly cost. What mattered was what can it do, because I knew I can make up the monthly cost with how the repricer works. And when I got the repricer Be Cool, and word got out about this because I had Be Cool reach out to me from Taiwan, and we did an interview from Taiwan. I went from 5,000 to not the next month, but the month after that to 14,000. And it was because I learned how to use a repricer and get my products sold quicker. So, you set your minimum price that you want. I set a minimum 30%. You set your maximum and you let the repricer do the work. So it was very important for me. And I actually use Be Cool to track my sales because it'll give you a bunch of different reports. Inventory Lab and Be Cool do a lot of that together. They can tell you how many of these I sold in any given time frame, what my profit was during that time frame. I just did it yesterday for the first 6 months in Inventory Lab. I did a store profitability, meaning it would say, okay, you bought all these items from the grocery outlet, and here's how much money you made and the sales, blah, blah, blah. Well, grocery outlet was actually the top one, number one. And I forget what the sales was, but I had, or the total sales dollar, but I had 1,614 sales from products that I sourced from grocery outlet in the first 6 months of this year. That was number one. I have some wholesalers, number two. And then I can't remember what the third one was, but
So, go ahead.
That's how I track. I look at everything quarterly and say, okay, what do I need to improve for the next quarter going forward?
So Tom, I wanted to ask you a question because your channel is called Residual Hustler. So I know you have some products that are like that you can kind of reorder, you can reorder again month after month after month. So talk to me a little bit about that. Some of your products that you have on Amazon that are, that you can go ahead and replace and kind of reorder and restock them every month.
Well, I have about 30% of what I do is wholesale. So I have a wholesaler that is actually 45 minutes or so for me. And she delivers product to the local grocery stores in my area. And when I called up the manufacturer, which is like 3 hours from me, and I said, hey, who is my local rep? I live in this area. And they gave me the phone number of the local rep in the area. And I called her and I said who I am, where I live, what I'm looking to do. And she called me the next day, got more information. And I said, I know that you deliver to the grocery stores. Would you deliver to my home or do I need to pick it up? She said, how far are you from this location where I deliver to? I said, 2 miles. She goes, I'll deliver to your house. I said, okay. comes in like a 20-foot box truck, So now I live in the mountains in the middle of the woods, and there's plenty of room for her to turn around and do whatever she needs to do. I got a huge driveway. So about 30% of my whole Amazon business is wholesale, from one wholesaler from her. I'm looking at a second wholesaler that has some grocery items also, that is actually a friend of mine. We coached football together 15 years ago, but I never knew what he did for a living. And he said, Tom, he said, maybe I have some products you can sell on Amazon. I said, what do you do? He goes, I'm a distributor for blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't know.
No, I didn't know that. And he's a Facebook friend. And I said, are you kidding me? He goes, yeah. He goes, I've got 2 territories. I've got 6 trucks on the road.
Yeah.
I'm like, send me a price list. So, and that's for snack items and some grocery items. So now I'm looking into that.
Yeah.
And I have my local grocery stores, like my Giant, my Weiss grocery stores, where there are certain coffees, certain cooking oils that I know sell over and over and over again. And I always go there looking for more. Many times I can buy more, making sure the pricing is where it needs to be, and just making sure everything is good. There was a time, now you can't see, but I've got a shelf over here. There was a time where I had about 20. Oh, I'll show you one of them.
Go ahead.
This was one of them. I had this. This was a replenishable that I would get from Weiss. I would sell it in a pack of 2. And now you I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
But see that top shelf up there?
I see it.
That's where I would keep examples of my replenishables. So
a lot of what your business model is retail arbitrage. But I just want to let people know, if you're like, man, gas prices is $4 a gallon, I don't want to go hit 5, 6, 7 stores a day hunting and pecking and looking for items to resell. There's a good chance that you could go and find, a replenishable item and then have it, like Tom said, have it shipped to his house or shipped to a prep center. And then that same item, whenever you get ready to run out of it, you just click reorder and add to cart, and you can send it into Amazon FBA, and you can resell that same item over and over and over again, as long as there's profit margins there. But I wanted to give a quick shout out here to my buddy here, Flipping Ain't Easy. He says, Jeff, you're a great dude. Here's another super chat. Keep doing what you're doing, my friend. Hey, man, I appreciate the super chat, man, and I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me on this holiday weekend. And if you guys get a chance, go check out my guy here, Flipping Ain't Easy. Go ahead and check his YouTube channel out and subscribe. But thank you, man. I appreciate the super chat. I really do, and I appreciate people's time in the chat for hanging out with us. If you guys have questions for our guests, drop it in the chat. Now, I wanted to ask you a question about, because I was following you on Instagram, and you were showing a video of a bunch of clothing items that you picked up. I don't remember if you got it at Ross or Marshall's or one of these discount stores. And I think you spent like $300 or $400, and you were showing on there, and you're like, okay, here's my cost of goods. Here's how much my Amazon fees are. Here's what my projected profit margins are. So give people an idea. If I came to you and I said, okay, I want to spend $500, let's say $500, $1,000, let's just say $500 on inventory. What do you think that you'd be able to flip that and turn that into if you went to one of these shopping centers?
Well, I'll show you on my phone what I actually do. I took it off.
Go ahead. I'll put you on full screen.
All right, I'll do this real quick. Whenever I am out doing retail arbitrage, I have this notes on my phone. And just to give you an example of what this is, you see where it says November 5th? That is 125 days from today. So when I'm out doing retail arbitrage retail arbitrage, I know that my expiration date cannot be before November 5th. Now, the next line down where it says job lots, that's the store that I'm at. And as I buy product, I start putting that product, the total, where it says cost. So, and then my next one is profit. I put in my cost and I put in my profit every time I put something in my cart. And then I calculate whatever that ROI is. And underneath that, where it says I bought, I go and I put down what category it was in. So, and I actually post that to my Facebook group so that people in my Facebook group can see, exactly what it is. I have, what I do is I tell the people when I'm actually out at the store, I say, listen, I'm out at this store and this is what I'm buying. I'm looking for something here on my phone. And this is an example of, what you can look for. So people know, okay, here's an example of one that I posted in the group today. Those are the keto bars that I said, if you were to buy this, you would get an IP complaint. I post that. So I post live in my Facebook group, what that is. And I just keep, if I find replenishable, I'll post it in my group. Anything I can do to help the new sellers in that group is what I'll do. And what else were you looking for? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm still here. Hey, I just wanted to ask you because I know one of the things that you offer is kind of coaching and consulting to help people get started on Amazon. So if someone is new and they want to get their feet wet, they don't know where to get started or what to do, tell them about what kind of coaching or opportunities that you have to kind of help point people in the right direction, help them get started.
Well, the coaching I didn't plan on doing any coaching or mentoring.
Yeah.
It started only because I started having so many people reach out to me because of what I was posting. Now, when I do my post to Facebook, I say I went to this store, I spent $100, I made a profit of $100. There's 100% ROI, but I don't post on Facebook what the product exactly is because I don't, you don't want to do that. So I post a lot of that on my TikTok and my Facebook, and people started reaching out to me saying, what are you doing? How are you doing? Especially the last year and a half with what's been going on in the world. So I started showing people and doing, making phone calls and stuff, never charging. And then the more I did it, the more people were asking me about this and the more time it was taking. And it was taking time away from me doing what I needed to do. So my wife said, I hope you're charging for this. And I wasn't. So I said, you know what? I said, I got to start charging for this because it's taking up my time and I need to make a living myself. So I created a 30-day mentorship program. Okay. And it is, I think it's like $400 for 30 days. And what it does is it gives you access to me in any way, shape, or form that you need. Zoom, text message, email, whatever you need. And I do phone calls, I do Zooms with the people to help them questions. I do want to initially to get them started. I actually send them a information packet that I created for this. And in that packet are 3 different ungating guides. One is for grocery, one is for Nike, big brand apparel, and the other one is for toys. So it's a PDF ebook that I created that actually walks you step by step how to get ungated in those categories and brands to start off selling that kind of stuff if you want to. And then many people go through that 30 days and they're fine. They're good to go. What I tell them to do during those 30 days, I say, listen, when you're out at the store and you're scanning stuff, take a screenshot of what it is and text it to me. Get it to me somehow, and I will tell you if that's a good buy or a bad buy. I will. So it's like I'm there in the store with you during these 30 days to help you. And I started having a couple people say, this is cool, 30 days over, but I want more one-on-one help. And for anybody that lives like within like an hour or so from me, I started offering to, like I was talking before earlier, talking the one gentleman, Jim, and a couple others, another one, Kenny, I said, okay, what do you want? And they said, okay, well, I want you to come to my home. I want you to touch my computer. I want you to show me how to list, how to do pack, ship, prep, label, everything. I want you to show me in front of my face when I sit next to you. And I said, okay. And then we come up with a cost for that, depending on where they are and where they live. I said, okay, I can do that. So that only came about from people reaching out to me. I never intended to do that, But I like to learn and I like to teach. So I said, okay, so here's something that's going to start from that. I'm not the guru that's going to try to sell you a $1,200 course. I don't have any courses.
Right.
You will never find me with a course. You will
Yeah.
find me with a mentorship, or I come to your home, but I will never have a course because I don't want to be known as the guy who always just trying to sell another course.
Yeah, I understand with selling a course, but the reason why I'm bringing it up because I think there's a lot of people that maybe have, anxiety or something. Maybe they're nervous. They're like, man, it's easy for me. Maybe I've had experience selling stuff on eBay, but I
Yeah.
don't know how to get started or where to do or what to do. But you go through the whole process of showing people how to prep the products, how to scan the barcodes, how to box everything in, how to send the shipment into Amazon, and kind of help people A to Z to help them get started. So that's the reason why I'm bringing that up, because maybe if they follow your advice, maybe in 6 months from now or a year from now, 2 years down the road, maybe they might be in the same situation you are, where they're able to put their 2 weeks notice in, quit their full-time job, and now become a full-time reseller. So that's the reason why I'm bringing that up, because you do have coaching that you do offer to help people. So, hey, tell everybody a little bit, what would be your top 2 or 3 tips or piece of advice to help somebody get started selling on Amazon?
When you're getting started, don't rush into it. Even though I took a good 4 or 5 months of watching videos, my first product I sold, I still lost $1.41 on the book because I didn't understand all the Amazon fees. So definitely don't rush. If you're serious, you want to get the Amazon Pro account, which is the $40 a month, and you want to get Keepa. Those are the first 2 essential purchases. Is those the Keepa charts will help you to make that buying decision. Now, if you have, say, $500 to get started, I would use that $500 if I had to start over again. Back in 2015, I would use that $500 to get ungated in the grocery category, in something like Nike or Adidas or something like that, to sell some of the products that not others are going to take the time to get ungated in to sell. Most of my sales, probably about 80% of what I sell on Amazon is a grocery product. The rest is apparel, big brand apparel, and some different odds and ends. But get ungated in some of the categories. I don't do a ton of toys except for December because of all of the compliance letters coming out, and I had toys in there, and all my listings were getting shut down. I got tired of it, so I haven't done any toys since December. I don't know how that'll be for this December coming up, but use that money to get ungated, because once you get ungated in something like grocery or Nike or whatnot, that opens up a whole realm of possibilities to make even more profit. So don't look for the quick profit on day one. Think 6 months ahead, 9 months ahead, a year ahead. That's where you want to be thinking about.
Man, okay. Well, I appreciate you jumping on and taking time out of your day. We shot another video earlier, so I've had Tom on about an hour today, picking his brain and asking him questions. So I wanted to thank everybody in the chat for hanging out with us today. I wanted to say hey to Ella, Save Here First. I have the Rule Squirrel is here. Says, hey gang, excited to catch you live. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Laura was here. I wanted to say hey to Flipping Ain't Easy. I wanted to give another shout out here to my buddy Felix from the Giant Lifestyle. I appreciate that $100 super chat, bro. So if you guys get a chance, go by and check his channel out, and John's channel as well from Flipping Ain't Easy. Do you have tell everybody where they can go by and check you out and follow you, because you have put out a lot of free content on YouTube and Instagram. But let them know where they can go by and check you out and follow you, Tom.
It's actually very simple. If you just go to residualhustler.com, I have all the links to everything social media related there. I have links to the other things that I do that are not Amazon related. I put those items on my website because I wanted people to see the realm of things that I do and what's possible other than just Amazon. I actually started off in 2012 in network marketing, and I used some of that money to start Amazon. And it was some of the people that were in my network marketing circle that were telling me about Amazon. That's actually how I learned about it.
Yeah.
That's actually where the name Residual Hustler came from, because I collect a residual income every month since 2012 now. So for 10 years, that's where the name Residual Hustler came from. But I focus most of my attention on Amazon because it's a ton of fun. I can make a full-time living working around the kids' activities, and I'm home during the day.
Right.
But
So
residualhustler.com.
So now tell people your final thoughts or words of wisdom that you can leave our audience with, because, I like the way you have your system set up. So you're able to kind of maneuver throughout your day, taking your daughter to school, picking her up when she gets home from school, while still being able to run your Amazon business and kind of work from home. So do you have any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you can leave our audience with?
Yes, I do. Amazon is not easy. Despite what you see on social media from many people that are making 100 grand a month, they're not doing it themselves. They have help. They're doing something. So if you're looking at doing this yourself, it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of patience. It's not a get rich quick scheme kind of thing. Like for me, my biggest thing was I wanted time freedom to do with my kids what I wanted when I wanted. And when I was ramping up in 2021, that was my goal, was to that. So every time my sales would be slow for the day, or I didn't have any sales for a day or two for whatever reason, I just felt like quitting, I would think about my kids and having that time freedom, and I just had to keep pushing through. So the biggest thing is don't you're going to get frustrated, but don't quit, because it could take literally a year before you actually really start to feel like you understand what you're doing. And just think about whatever your goal is. Maybe it's to buy a new car, or to, move to a different zip code. Just think about what that end goal is and what you have to do to get there. For me, it was time freedom with my kids, my 3 kids. And every time I would get frustrated, that's what I would think of. So just be patient. Don't quit when times get hard, and remember that end goal.
For sure, yeah, it can be frustrating sometimes, whether you're selling on eBay or Amazon and you have customer returns, or sometimes it feels like you're banging your head up against the wall. If you have slow sales and you feel like you're doing everything right, and then you're looking and the sales aren't coming in. So for sure, but I just think more long term. Once you get this thing up and off the ground, and it's like an airplane, once it has enough takeoff to get off the runway, now you have this extra stream of income coming in month after month after month for the rest of your life. So that's kind of the way that I'll look at it. Anyways, guys, go ahead and follow our guest, the Residual Hustler. All the links are going to be down below for YouTube and Instagram. And so go ahead and follow our guest. And he puts out a lot of free content on his social media account. Until next time, we'll catch you guys in the next video. You guys have a great holiday weekend, and I will see you guys again soon. You guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.